Pleasure to have you in CNBC Indonesia. Take a look.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So I would like to hear more about Canva, especially in Indonesia. How is Indonesia market for Canva especially?
So first of all, Canva is a design tool, and it's used globally right now by 225 million people, which is an incredible number that's been growing over the course of the last couple of years. And specifically, Indonesia for us is extremely important. It is our third biggest market globally. In 2024 alone, Indonesians made 1 billion designs, which is a completely staggering number to us. And we're only seeing that number improve over time. We know that Indonesia's got an incredible creative economy. There's so much more to do here.
2024, you have 1 billion designs generated by Canva from Indonesia only.
That's right. And not only that, we actually see that Indonesia's our #1 market globally for making presentations. Yes.
Wonderful. So that's just emphasizing how significant is Indonesia market for Canva.
That's right.
So, Ruoshan, in your opinion, do more users in Indonesia are using Canva for corporations or retail or for individuals?
That's a great question. So I think Indonesia is a very big and very vibrant market. And from Canva's perspective, we have always wanted to be a tool for everyone. So I think when you look at the Indonesian landscape overall, we see a lot of educators, we see a lot of students, we see a lot of small business owners, we see a lot of even people working in offices. But overall, I think the user base for us over here is very reflective of how vibrant the economy is here.
Yeah, right. So tell us about the growth of Indonesia user for Canva. You mentioned that in 2024, Canva has been generating around 1 billion designs only, specifically in Indonesia.
Yeah.
How is that growth so far from year to year?
Yeah, so we're seeing really good growth, and we've continued to see that over the years. I won't reveal specifics, but definitely in the double digits, and we see that continuing.
And in 2025, you have also optimistic growth for Indonesia.
Very much, very much. It's a very important market to us. I think we're here to try to see how we can better meet the needs of the users here. So we're very excited to see what else we can do here in Indonesia.
Okay. We want to also hear what is the strongest factors of growth for Indonesia's user for Canva.
That's a great question. So I think what's been fascinating for me spending a bit more time in Indonesia is really how creative everyone is. What an incredible sense of design people have here. I think you're seeing a lot of emerging brands, small businesses, and I think with the product that we've created, we're sort of uniquely well suited to be able to help people meet those needs. So grow their business, basically be able to produce a brand that's reflective of who they are. Right. So I think all of those things make us a uniquely well-suited brand for the Indonesian market.
Right. The Indonesia's economy's backbone is actually a small, medium enterprises, which comprises 60% of our general GDP. That means like we have millions of jobs and people as a small, medium enterprise entrepreneurs. How do you see this will benefit by your existence in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think organically we already see incredible pickup here. I think we've done a lot of sort of heavy lifting in the earlier days to make sure the product is well set up for this market. So we've localized the UI into Bahasa Indonesia, but also Javanese and Sundanese as well. So on top of that, we actually produce templates specifically for Indonesia. So far we have 350,000 templates that's produced by Indonesian creators that's specifically made for Indonesia. So the experience for an Indonesian user, who by the way mostly uses their mobile phone, as I'm sure you know, is that they would open the app and a lot of the content that they're seeing is well suited for them specifically. And so in that way, the product is a very localized experience for someone using it in Indonesia. So I think that laid an incredible foundation for us in making our product accessible to everybody.
Right.
And since then, we've built upon that foundation.
That's very interesting. I just knew that Canva has a Sundanese language in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very interesting to know that your company really investing well in what Indonesians needs. Right? And then you have a lot of customized features for Indonesia, for their interface, for their experience, and so on. Tell me more about what's exciting about Canva has for Indonesia is not only from the language features, or probably you mentioned that you have 350,000 templates to cater what Indonesians want for Canva utilization.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
So I think on the content front, we're going to keep producing more templates. So the velocity is actually increasing. So currently we produce about 10,000 new templates every single month for Indonesia specifically. So investing heavily in content. On the brand side, last year we launched our very first brand campaign here in Indonesia called Canva in Aja. So
Canva in Aja.
That's right, yeah. And it was extremely well received. I think we managed to figure out what are the pain points of Indonesians when it comes to design. And that campaign was meant to illustrate all of the different ways that Canva can help them achieve their goals. And I think we hope to build on that success and basically continue on investing in brand. On top of that, also looking at local partnerships. So we partner very, very closely with the Ministry of Education here.
All right.
So we launched that partnership in 2022. So today, any student or teacher with a belajar.id email address can actually access Canva for Education, which is Canva, it's sort of a Canva Pro, but specifically for education, completely for free. So those are all the ways in which we're hoping to sort of develop the Indonesia market further and how we plan on growing here.
So how is your competitive landscape? I mean, there's a lot of design application businesses. And as from the technological side, what do you think about the artificial intelligence? Is AI adoption an urgency for business like Canva to survive?
That's a great question. I think you're right in that design is a very fragmented space. And I think what's uniquely powerful about what we do at Canva is we make that really simple. So there's many, many different things that you can do in Canva very simply. And it's sort of bringing together a lot of the features of a lot of different design tools into one very, very simple to use platform.
Right.
So to this day, we only have one editor. You click in and there's just one editor, meaning that anyone should be able to navigate it quite simply from the very beginning. So I think from a simplicity sake, truly, I think it's very difficult to think of another product that competes with us in that regard. I think on your question for AI.
So I mean, your competitive and very competitive advantage is your simplicity to use. And
I think so. It's simple but powerful.
Wow.
Yeah. So different people, depending on your level of competency with design tools. So for myself, I'm not very good at design. I rely on a lot of the templates, and I don't change too many things.
Right.
But there are people who are much better at design than I am, who can really take advantage of the full suite and how robust a lot of the features are.
Oh, wonderful. And for the Indonesian market, back again for your efforts in Canva on, customizing your application to make it easy for Indonesian users and how we experience it. As we know, like currently is a Ramadan month, and we are, as a country, the biggest Muslim populations in the world. How is Canva addressing the designs and the needs of the community during this very period?
I love that question. I think one thing that we've done tremendously well is that we really have managed to build an incredible community around us. So we have over 80,000 teachers as part of our teacher community. We have 65 Canvasadors who are basically ambassadors for Canva that go out there and provide training. They basically make sure that people understand the full suite of what Canva can do. We also have local creators who basically make bespoke content. And so for this Ramadan, we actually have produced, I think, 20,000 new templates specifically to make sure that businesses, individuals have the right type of creative that they need to be able to, whether it's gathering with family and invitations that you want to create, or whether it's a small business who may basically
celebration,
exactly,
business or
exactly. Yeah. So we rely heavily on these community of people to basically give us the feedback, to let us know what is appropriate, what is relevant, to make sure that we can fully address their needs.